How's it going, everybody? Welcome to our After Hard Knocks stream every single Tuesday, obviously, immediately after Hard Knocks is done, around 8:50 to 9 p.m. Central. We're here to just react to the episode of Hard Knocks. We did it last week, and I got to say, we've been doing this for a number of years, and most positive comment section we've ever had after a Hard Knocks. I appreciate the Seahawks fans coming out. I acknowledge it's probably the first time that we haven't shit on a team while watching it.
Mhm. It's a
But
fun team to watch, that's why.
it's a fun team to watch. We're getting to watch a good team for the first time. Obviously, it's usually a team that missed the playoffs. It's usually a team that's figuring out how to develop a winning culture. And the theme of this Hard Knocks is just this is the winning culture, and how do we not keep that culture stale? How do we stay atop the mountain? Is what this is. And multiple times in this Hard Knocks that we'll talk about in episode 2, it was just a football nerds Hard Knock. Like we talked about, that's what this Hard Knocks is probably going to be, and I think it's delivering. I think it's incredible. I could fully see how, and this isn't the knock at them, I could fully see how a casual would hate this episode, to be
Mhm.
completely honest, but I loved it.
Yeah, I think, right, there's not really storylines going on with this. The storyline is just kind of that the Seahawks are a really good team, and they're going through the offseason, which is awesome. It's an interesting look at it, right? Because we talked about it last week, how it kind of felt like every other one, there was like a central point that this team was, that's why they picked this team to be the in Hard Knocks or whatever reason. But I mean, I guess the Seahawks, I guess it'd be defending a Super Bowl, but really we're not getting not yet, at least we're not getting into anyone's personal lives. We're not getting into, any really positional battles yet or anything. It's just behind the scenes of a team that just won the Super Bowl, which is incredible to see.
Right, yeah, the closest thing we've gotten into personal lives, we got a little look into Leonard Williams, right, this episode. I imagine we'll get into Sam Darnold just because his journey in the NFL has been fascinating, of highs and lows. But yeah, not much off-field stuff so far. A little bit of Derrick Hall, I guess, too. Just his hobby of building cars and stuff like that, which somebody in our comment section last time talked about, which is really cool.
Mm,
It's something we didn't know. We were just like, it's a sick truck and blah blah blah.
mhm.
But someone said, Seahawk fan, I assume. It's like, no, this is a guy that he built that truck, and then we got
Mhm.
to see it this time. So I definitely appreciate that. It's cool.
That's probably a good thing in, I guess, when you're following a team, that there's not really storylines. It's all it is football.
Yeah, this is good news for them.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. But yeah, there isn't really positional battles that we're seeing. There's definitely some that are taking place. Not a ton though. They need to figure out their running back situation. And I think the middle to the bottom of like the receiver depth chart and stuff needs to take place. But I don't know. Defensively, there's some stuff, but we'll get
Like,
into that. I'm sure
right.
at later episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I just keep coming back to, like, if you're recapping these first two episodes to someone, like, I think it's hard to nail down a main plot line other than it's just off-season football.
It's just a good culture. I think it's a healthy culture. You could take football completely out of it. I think it's showcasing a culture of togetherness, of a true team, a true leader, and very clearly this is a team that's and just a group of people that are like hungry to get better. Like I think there's
Yeah.
no drama. And maybe there's going to be a little bit with the Taran Arnold thing. We'll talk about that in a second. I think they're in a perfect situation with that. But um this is just a group of guys that are very, very close. We've seen offensive linemen give defensive linemen tips. We've seen any fights or stuff get settled immediately off the field. There's been all kinds of stuff that's like, okay, this is just a healthy group of relationships here.
Right, yeah, it's cool, and, I'm sure it's how it's edited, but it's cool. It's just
Yeah.
like they're out playing football, and then you get inside the facilities, and everyone's just, having fun, which I guess is what football should be in reality. But I mean, that's to your point about the culture. When you win a Super Bowl, it's really easy to have a good culture, right? And
Yes.
Seattle's kind of doing that as it is right now.
Right. Right. Winning cures everything. But this is also a group of guys, a lot of them, that's like, hey, this isn't their first choice. This isn't their first team. This isn't, they've been passed over. They've been doubted. They've been including the coach, McDonald. I mean,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of people that have really been pushed aside, labeled, and whatever. And then they came to Seattle and they found themselves. They found a place to call home. They've improved. And I got to tell you, doesn't that sound exactly like what Taran Arnold's going to do next and then be an all
Hmm.
pro?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, come on, man. But yeah, everyone here is like, okay, we are like Leonard Williams. They talked about like, I thought I was going to retire in New York and stuff like that. And I remember people were calling him a bust. And now he's anything but.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just a massive human being. But it's an
Yes.
interesting dynamic of right. We talk about. I guess LA is kind of a little bit different, but New York City, is always talked about as big markets and people want to go there and whatnot. But then you like, I guess maybe that's for when you're younger kind of thing where you can go out and hustle and do all of it. But when you're getting late 20s, early 30s, like Seattle, the Seattles of the world, the Green Bays of the world, the Buffaloes of the world, where it's just kind of you're in your own world. That feels like the place to be.
Well, the place is, yeah, not a lot to do, but then also you are the show. You are the
Right.
thing. Packers are Green Bay's thing, obviously, right? The
Right.
Bills are Buffalo's thing. Seattle, I mean, they have some other stuff, but really, Seahawks are their thing, right?
Yeah.
So,
It
yeah,
was it was interesting too. I remember when they did the Jets and Rodgers went to New York and he was talking about it. He might have even talked about it on McAfee. He's like, I loved being in Green Bay and like having it like I could be by myself and people would come up and say hi, but he wanted something different in the hustle and bustle of New York. It's kind of like the opposite of what it just said, which is kind of an interesting look at it too.
true. I mean, yeah, different people like different things and maybe just experiencing it. And I think Rogers probably was like, hey, I'd like to experience New York. I'd like to see these other
Hmm.
opportunities. And quickly was like, oh, maybe not. you know,
Right.
and yeah, Pittsburgh, I think, is closer to Green Bay than
Yeah.
a, you know, a New York. Before we get into the rest of the episode, we can go like point by point stuff. I do want to say if you're watching this, definitely like and subscribe. But before anybody else, I'm going to give you guys access to our draft kit, our fantasy football draft kit. So if you're on YouTube, you can go in the description and there's a link to the draft kit, draft.flurrysports.org. You can go there. Everything right now is completely free. Tomorrow, everything should be finalized, and that's when we start charging people. So, if you're watching this, definitely go check it out, and you can check out everything for free right now. Please, I need people to test stuff out anyway. I would love to give you guys. You guys have been cool tuning into Hard Knock stuff and commenting and all of that. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see added to it. But we got the most accurate mock draft tool in the market. You can invite your friends and all mock draft together as well. We have my rankings. Those need to be finalized. Don't choose those at the current moment. I need to put my actual rankings in there. But we got depth charts. We got all kinds of data, all kinds of tools. We have a draft order decider. We got fantasy war that's wins above replacement. All kinds of proprietary data over there. So definitely go check that out. And honestly, this is the stuff your league mates don't want you to have. Like, this is the tool to win your fantasy league. So draft.flurrysports.org. Go over there, check it out. Everything, again, completely free. And even once we start charging, at least half of it's going to be completely for free anyways. There's always going to be stuff there to check out. And then FlurrySports.org, we're going to have a bunch of content coming very soon. So definitely go check that out. Again, link in the description if you don't want to type it out.
Hundreds of hours put into it, thousands of numbers. This thing's awesome.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, this week, bad week for me to start my caffeine cleanse. I went from too
Oh,
much caffeine to no caffeine, and it's been a nightmare.
um,
I've
go ahead.
I've never. I mean, it's been a long time since I've had like withdrawals from
Hmm.
caffeine. College, I did this cleanse before too, and I definitely did. Last night, I was just fucking. I was angry. I was
Yeah.
twitching. I was just like, I was not happy. That was the same thing today too. So, a few more days of no caffeine, and still
Then we'll
putting
get
in the
back in the
hours for
grind.
this draft kit. But yeah, yeah. Then the coffee's gonna hit different, which is what we're hoping for.
Yeah, so everyone check out the draft kit. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I iced coffee is great. I haven't talked to you about iced coffee, but I'm in on iced coffee now.
it's great. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, I recommended cold brew to you immediately because
Yeah.
one, it's not as harsh on your stomach. You puked immediately, you said, and then two,
Well, yeah,
it's more
yeah.
caffeine.
Yeah.
Like, there's
I've been
more caffeine
yeah.
in cold brew than hot coffee, so definitely inject it into your veins.
How many people drink like iced black? Because that's what I drink.
I do. I
Okay.
would prefer if I'm doing just black coffee, I'd prefer it to be hot, but I have done ice like that, or
Yeah.
I would do, like, other, like, iced espresso drinks, black, like an Americano or something, but
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm in on iced coffee.
it should be. It's great stuff.
Yeah, it
You're just
is.
you're just leveling up. You're speed
Right.
running coffee right now. I like
Mhm.
it. Yeah, you drinking iced coffee. We got Trevor having bone-in chicken wings. It's like the kids are
Right.
growing up. This is fantastic. I love this.
Right. I've been getting into eggs recently too.
That's big for you. You hated
Yeah.
eggs.
I still kinda do hate eggs. I don't like scrambled eggs, I like, the fried egg that you put on, like a breakfast sandwich.
Sure, great.
It's
I'm
not that I
guessing
like it, it's that I tolerate it, and I kinda just
okay.
mask it with hot sauce, so
You're eating it just by itself, though? You're not like it's not
no.
like it's an egg sandwich or something?
Yeah, I'll
It is?
do, like, bacon and egg and on a I don't know, like an English muffin or whatever, and I'll throw some hot sauce on it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, hot sauce is the way to go on eggs anyway,
Yeah.
regardless, so yeah. That's yeah, that's big for you. So now you gotta try, like, the quick trip sandwiches with egg on them, or
Yeah.
are you already doing that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that's the next
I don't
step, I
get to
think.
Quick Trip much in the morning is the issue. I gotta get there in the morning more. My Quick Trips are usually, like, late afternoon, early evening after work.
For whatever reason, and, you probably don't have very many opportunities for this, but, like, that very late night breakfast sandwich from Quick Trip, I think that's
Yeah,
peak.
I've
That's the
had it
top.
before.
Mhm. That used to be, like, the go-to.
The issue is I always go Quick Trip late night, and it's cheese-filled breadsticks, which are incredible, but that's usually all that they have left.
Yeah. I mean, college it used to be you get the hookup, the people that cook there, and they just save stuff for you, and you
Right.
go get a couple rotisserie chickens, and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's what you do. Okay, so back to Hard Knocks. Seattle people, unfortunately, you don't have Quick Trip over there. I would definitely come and check it out. Um, a lot of Derrick Hall this episode, a lot of McDonald's, obviously, again. Should we just start from the beginning and go that way, or is there some key moments you want to talk through?
Yeah, no, we can start from the beginning. Like Derek Hall is like I haven't really connected with many people in Hard Knocks, um, other than the superstars like the Rex Ryan's here and Rogers, all those people. Like Derek Hall, it just is a very interesting person to me. Like I just over the last week between now and then, I did a whole deep dive on his
Hmm.
career, on his college, and everything. It's just an interesting guy.
He's just a he's a human, you
He's a
know?
human,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of seems like the theme for a lot of these players on Seattle. But yeah, he's just a normal dude. I didn't know about the pre
the birth stuff. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, 1% chance to live. That's crazy. But yeah, he's just a guy that seems like he's a hard worker and is blessed. And the
the guy
the
you want to
co-
hang out with.
that coffee scene is so small, right? It's just a
Right.
small, almost throwaway scene, but I think it's very cool, very
Agreed.
interesting.
The note that I had on that is it's very funny, the truck being bigger than the coffee shop. I laughed out loud when I saw that.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's bigger than my brother-in-law's truck, but I get similar vibes with that.
Mhm.
So, uh, but yeah, yeah, he just seems like a normal dude. And then there's going to be people, I'm sure, with several of these key moments that are just like, oh man, Seattle has some drama. He's attacking the quarterback. He's getting too close to the quarterback, too aggressive. Talking back to the coach. There's going to be some people that criticize all this stuff. There wasn't a more healthy way to handle any part of that
Right.
situation. Like, McDonald got him out because he was just getting too close to Darnold. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He
Mhm.
talked to him about it, and this is the guy that you want on your side come Sunday.
Right.
Like, let's save him.
Yeah.
Let's save everybody so then everyone's healthy and good to go, and he's pissed off, and he wants to hit at quarterback, and guess what? First one he gets to hit is Drake May. That's great.
Right. True. I mean, that happens, I mean, all 32 training camps, shit like that
Yeah.
happens. But it's such it feels like right, the coaches have to follow that so carefully, right? Because Darnold is such a big investment for them, give him so much money, he's the leader of the team, whatever. And the way that they kind of broke that down in film, where it's like, you bull rush him, and the knees are always a concern, right? You don't want anyone falling in the knees, but the follow through is really what gets fucked up, and your fingers get fucked up, and whatever. That
Yeah.
was an interesting look at that too.
Yeah, that's not a lot of something a lot of people think about, before it happens.
Yeah,
Like, that's usually not a thing until but it feels like lately, though, there's been a lot more during the season, helmets hitting hands and stuff
I
like
feel like
that,
it
where it's like
happens to
quarterbacks keep
Stafford.
busting their hand.
Yeah, I feel like it happens to Stafford a lot.
It does. It does for
Yeah,
sure. He's kind of just a psycho and just hangs in there is the issue with
right.
him.
Right.
Baker's another similar type of person, but yeah, for sure. But yeah, they're just protecting all their guys there. I think it's completely fine.
Yeah.
And it's good coming from McDonald's, the defensive head coach, right? So he
Hmm.
gets to do he has pure respect of everyone and he communicates and it's all good to go. Their defensive coordinator is British. Is that what's going on?
Think so. Definitely
That's
not American.
that's the only red flag I got so far. It feels like there's a soccer coach in here. Uh, I don't know. It's odd. But yeah, the Derrick Hall and McDonald moment I thought was awesome. Even better, you know, there's a little not even a like little tiff or whatever in practice where the defensive lineman, offensive lineman get into it a little bit. Offensive lineman wins the rep, stands there like a boss. It's cool.
Hmm.
Settling that in the meeting room with sledgehammers, I've never
Gotta.
seen before. That's incredible.
Yeah, I wrote that down. It's incredible. And then the part, right? It's like, if you want to continue to do this, like, let's have some fun and do it, and like make it a competition that the whole team's in on. I always love that in these hard knocks, when there's like two people on stage and the rest, everyone in the crowd just going nuts, and that's
Yeah.
incredible to see.
Yeah, again, this is just a showcase of team culture. It's like we're
Yeah.
part of the Seahawks locker room now.
Right.
When people retire from football with anything, it's like, hey, I miss just hanging around the guys. This is a look into that, what a
Hmm.
healthy locker room looks like. And yeah, I mean, everyone just screaming at the people
Hmm.
on the stage is incredible.
Well, because
And
it's funny. It's funny in that competition, right? You have a lineman versus, offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. Then you're splitting the room right down in half, because all the
100%.
offensive guys are with one, all the defensive guys are with one. So everyone's in the competition.
That's true. That's true. That's a good way to do it versus, the rookie stuff we'll see, I'm sure, at some
Right.
point, and you're just picking your sides at that point. But yeah, the respect, it's still odd. The respect that the offense and defense has for each other on this team is something that's very, very, very rare. Like, I just
Hmm.
can't understate that, where this kind of stuff can happen, but it does still feel like one team. Whereas
Right.
I've seen a million teams, I've been parts of teams where it's like two teams, offense
Right.
versus defense. Offense fucks up, defense is screaming, saying we're doing our job, they're not doing their job, vice versa. And yeah, this is completely different where
That's what.
everyone is like truly helping each other.
Right, that's something that is kind of, I'm sure it goes on everywhere in football teams, right? Where the quarterbacks kind of keep to the quarterbacks,
Mhm.
receivers to the receivers, the linebackers to the linebackers, right? That's who you spend the most time with. But little shit, even like their shadow boxing stuff, where they're talking about, corners matching up with offensive linemen and quarterbacks matching up with DBs. Like, that's the shit that it's like, yeah, this is a team.
I want to know how that started, but that's another one of those things.
Right.
I've never I've seen people do that. I've never seen like a locker room have that taken over.
Hmm.
That's very,
Right.
very interesting. But yeah, that's I mean, we saw JSN do it with defensive guys. That's
Right.
crazy. That's
Yeah,
very
I
odd.
I said on the show last week that, like, one of my favorite things in life is seeing people who, like, would never meet in person come together when they're both, like, going towards one goal. That's like a perfect vision of it.
That's a locker room. They come from everywhere.
Yeah.
We got Greg Zabel coming from the Dakotas or whatever. It's just
Right.
a farmer. We got, yeah, literally inner city people. We got the rich kids. We got the poor kids. We got the kids that had to work for shit. We have people walking on.
Hmm.
We got yeah, it's very, very odd. Always a weird group of people. And if it's a healthy locker room, like these are the type of people that are best friends for life. Like
For
I've
sure.
seen people where it's like inner city guy, friends with this Mormon guy for
Hmm.
life. It's very
Hmm.
odd. It's like, okay, like Pat McAfee talks about his conversations with, I think, Austin Collie all the time.
Oh yeah.
Just like they got nothing in common. And yeah, weird when the main focus, the main point is like, hey, we're just trying to win football games. Everyone, it's a weird melting pot that kind of just works.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a cool thing to see. Um, Something that came out of it, I think we've talked about it before. Like, 1v1 in football, whether it be, linemen or, corners, receivers, whatever. That is incredible. That's truly battle. That's like the antithesis of what, I don't know if antithesis is the right word there. That's like the true image of what, like, football is, right? Everyone's in a one-on-one battle. It's winning your one-on-one battle. So I love seeing, one-on-ones and corners, receivers. Offensive linemen kind of get screwed a little bit there, I think, in one-on-ones with
Always.
defense linemen. But when offensive linemen win, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, too. It's a big moment for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a badge of honor. Regardless, I mean, seeing one-on-one's always fun. We always have to look through it with a certain lens where we have to remember this is practice right now.
Right.
Even when they start doing joint practices, like it's fully practice. We saw from a different training camp. I think it's Sauce Gardner went up against AJ Brown, got cooked, and
Hmm.
Sauce Gardner was just trying something new. It was just trying a technique where it's like
Right.
I could have covered him. You know,
Yeah, right.
I didn't get destroyed that bad. So we have to remember that a little bit. But yeah, one on ones, it's always just like, you know, it's man in the arena type of thing. It's always good. Um,
I'm sorry. I want to go back real quick to the competition when they did on stage holding the sledgehammers.
mhm.
Them showing him punching it on film in front of everyone, and everyone going nuts.
Yeah,
I laughed at that too.
that's good too. Where
Yeah.
it's like, hey, don't be this fucking idiot. You
Right.
know what I
And
mean?
you have to make fun of the guy for doing it too, and he knows, no one means anything bad by it. But I mean, everyone's gone through it where everyone makes fun of you for something stupid.
Right. He had to feel even stupider when
Yeah,
offensive linemen didn't even react.
he's laughing at him.
Yeah, it's like if he
Yeah,
reacted, it's like okay, it's a little scrimmage
right.
here. But yeah, if it's offensive lineman wins the rep, you punch him, he laughs at you, that sucks.
Yeah, yeah,
But then he won the sledgehammer thing, so it is what it is.
right.
He didn't even budge. He was fine.
No, yeah, he could have been up there for days.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
That's
had a graduation party a couple years back, and we had one of those sledgehammers, and I think someone started it where you have to hold the sledgehammer out and you have to try to get it down without get it up in the air without bending. And
mhm,
the obviously the punchline there is it gets too heavy and it drops and it hits people in the face. So that was
yeah.
pretty funny to see a bunch of drunk people get hit in the face with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, different humans doing
Yeah.
that for sure. I thought, and this happens a lot too, but seeing Mitch Johnson come in and the Spurs GM too, very
Hmm.
interesting because they're not in the same situation, but it's a team. The Spurs are a team that was bad, right? And
Hmm.
then all of a sudden they're very, very good. Now, how do you preach to them next year a similar message that isn't stale, that keeps them trying to get better to accomplish, you know, what their goal is? So I thought that was a really interesting conversation between him and McDonald. I imagine much better things were said that were cut, but we're just
Yeah.
trying to, you know, keep, you know, stuff secret. You don't want to give away anything. But it's very cool, just sports psychology, leadership, culture discussion.
Yeah, as someone, I agreed. I agree 100% with that. One thing that I took out of it, and as someone who, I watch a lot of basketball, I follow tons of basketball different ways. But for him to ask, like, when did you know Victor Wembanyama was the guy? It's an interesting look at the scouting process for non-American basketball players, right? Because
Mhm.
it's really you're just looking for anything, and he's like, "Hey, we have found the 7-footer practicing in a gym," and then we're like, "Yeah, this guy's the greatest player ever." How many players do you think like don't get seen like that? That can be like the greatest of all time,
Tons. I mean, it's sort of a miracle that Nikola Jokic was found.
right?
Right? He feels like someone who would just still be over there doing his
Right?
force thing that is just the greatest player in the world that no one knew.
Right?
And there's people like that 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I always think about that. I always think about it in like music too. Like,
Mhm.
when you're sitting at a band, you're writing songs or whatever, you're sitting and jamming. Imagine how many like incredible things come out that they don't even do again. They don't even think about it. They're just sitting there jamming.
Right. Or they yeah, it's just free flowing thought. Maybe they're,
Right.
you know, doped up, whatever it is, and it's like, "Don't even remember what I played." It's like, "That
Right.
was we should have
Right.
recorded that. That was incredible. What the fuck?"
Right.
But, I mean, with so many of, like, even just famous licks of all time, it's very odd different conversation, I suppose, but it's very odd where it's like, they always talk about it's the first thing they played when they picked it up.
Right.
It's like, I mean, we've been talking about Modest Mouse just very slightly
Hmm.
off air. In, like, Dashboard, that lick that, Johnny Marr played in that song, like, it's
Hmm.
the first thing he just picked it up and played it. It's like,
Right.
"Okay, that's stupid."
Right.
Like, now their current band can't even play it. Like,
Right.
they practice it and can't play it. So,
Right.
very, very
Yeah,
weird.
I don't know. I thought about that. The Beatles did their documentary or whatever a couple of years ago, and it just like
Yeah.
behind the scenes stuff. I'm like, just imagine they have hours sitting together and not recording like anything, and that has to be the greatest stuff of all time.
Well, that Beatles song came out, like, 2 years ago.
Right,
Like like, how did this happen? That's great. There's more. You know there's more.
right.
So yeah, very weird that Mac album came out. Obviously, different degrees, but yeah,
So so relating that to sports, like it's there's got to be so much of that goes on that people just never get seen.
yeah, yeah. And if constantly, right? Sometimes tryouts happen, sometimes walk-ons happen, but now walk-ons cost money.
Right.
So it's like these incredible athletes that just don't have the money to do it, can't get off of work to do it, don't want to risk their job just for a
Hmm.
tryout. Because what if I don't have it? Then my family suffers. But yeah, it's very odd. Once you talk about like the 1% of the 1%, they're out there. There's people
Hmm.
that are just born great,
Yeah.
and there's definitely people on the Seahawks team that's like that. Um, I would say JSN is one of those people.
Hmm.
Um,
Dog.
his he's very good. He works very hard. He's gonna get criticized for this episode. I think there's nothing to criticize for. Like I think
Agreed.
his the way he talked with his position coach, by the way, very cool. I like him just showcasing personality, to be
Hmm.
completely honest. But it was a very good reminder to me, at least, that he's a wide receiver
Right.
because wide receivers are their own type of human. DBs are similar, but their head cases, they think they're right. They think they're the most important person in the room. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You have to be that way.
Hmm.
So, I mean, you're out on an island and you just have to beat your person and make such a big spectacle of yourself that you get the football. That's your job.
Right.
Um, him having to adjust to the new offense, he doesn't want to do it.
Hmm.
And he's like,
Can't blame
why?
him.
No, I had so much success. We just won a Super Bowl doing this. Why don't we just do that again? That's his point of view. And there's going to be people saying, hey, some Seahawks players are not picking up the offense as quickly as they want. There's going to be some people saying, hey, they wish they had Kubiak back. Hey, this new
Hmm.
offense isn't as good. Throw that all out. I think he's going to be completely fine by the time, things start.
Yeah.
But this is one of those things. He's a wide receiver. If things don't work to start the year, this exact conversation we just watched, they're going to have it again.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Absolutely. Yep.
So that's just football, though. That's professional sports.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a coach. It's a receiver coach. It's an offense coordinator who've been around for football forever. It's maybe the best receiver in the game. They'll figure it out, right? They're in top of their game. Um, the 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 montage or the segment of Nick Warrior, kind of rehabbing a little bit and coming back.
Mhm,
I think that's a cool look to see, like the equipment and the facilities that these professional teams have. Like water resistance and on rehab and injuries is such a helpful thing to build back muscle, to build back strength for everything. Kind of
mhm.
that elevator down into the pool, that was sweet, and seeing him walk on basically a treadmill in water, that was awesome.
The cameras down there,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. The technology that they have to rehab, it's and people wonder or even compare this era of football to 20, 30, 40 years ago where it's like, "Oh, those
Right.
guys were tougher." Bro, like, you have no
Right.
idea. Like, these guys are just superhuman now, and just
Mhm.
imagine if you had, uh I'm trying to think of, like, just create like, even just Ray Lewis, I suppose, but you have, like, the Dick Butkus of the world, like, going through this rehab shit. It's completely different.
Right.
And what's up in the Twitch chat? Thanks for hanging out. But yeah, the technology now is completely different. Like you can tell exactly what's wrong. They know exactly how to repair it, and that's why you have all these people coming back from Achilles injuries now. Stuff like that when it's like, oh, that was a career ender even
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Completely different. Other stuff I have written. Well, I mean, going back to the position coach, I think this was another good showcase where it's like the position coaches that we talked about last week. They balance McDonald so well.
Oh, yeah.
They are the hard asses. They're the rah-rah guys, and McDonald has that in him, but that's not his role.
Right.
And we talked about how that balance we've seen other buildings balance that out. But yeah, you don't need to be that hard ass head coach. He is very much like the mentor figure there, and then the position coaches kick their ass, which I think
Yep.
is good.
Yeah. Yeah, having a good position coach, right? It's almost, it's you spend so much time with them that, they have to have a good relationship and they have to, right, be on your ass. And on the flip side, kind of going back to like Jackson Smith and Jigba, like kind of feels like the player needs to be on the position coach's ass too, right? Like
Yeah.
they're not related, but they're almost brothers. How much time that these coaches spend with these position players, and to kind of get like, I feel like it can be in more than just football, right? In any kind of job, it's like, it's kind of tough to be a person or be able to communicate well with who's ever on top of the organization, right? Whether that be a CEO, boss, superintendent, whatever. And having these coaches that are like, again, brothers, kind of as a mediator between that, it's such an incredible thing to have.
Well, football and sports in general adds another layer, which makes it more complex. First off, they're all adults, so to your point,
Right.
you gotta do that. But sports is one of the only situations where the superiors, the people in power, are getting paid less than the people below them.
Right.
And that adds a completely different dynamic, right? The $100 million wide receiver is listening to this guy. It's
Hmm.
sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. When they do, it works out pretty well when there's a
Right.
mutual respect. But when you have a doofus in the room who's the head coach and trying to, take his insecurities out on a player, which we didn't see here, but we've
Right.
seen it in past Hard Knocks, and we've seen it in plenty of failing organizations. It's like that's when the wide receiver's like, you know what? Like I made $100 million before you even came here, so go fuck yourself.
Right.
You know?
I did, yeah, yeah, to your point about like, about McDonald, like not having to be that hard ass guy and having these the position coach kind of getting on these players' asses. I did like him kind of bitching out Derrick Hall. Like we
Yeah.
talked about it last week, how there wasn't much personality from McDonald. Not that this is anything other than what any other football coach would do, but love seeing him getting fired up and yelling at players.
Yeah. He gave him a warning and then he took it
Right.
out on him and then he showed him love afterwards. Like
Right.
that's a leader. You
Hmm.
know, you got to be a hard ass. You have to fucking hit them every once in a while, and, metaphorically, physically, whatever it may be. Um, and they respond, and Derek Hall
Hmm.
responded, and they had a cool thing where they took him aside, the Hard Knocks crew, and said like, "Hey, the type of person you are is how you respond to stuff like that." And this
Hmm.
is very mature people we're dealing with here, and I can't stress how weird and awkward and not normal this is. Everyone's an adult seemingly here, and I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for the drama to start, and I guess maybe we won't get that, and
I
maybe
don't
the
know if
Seahawks
we
will
will.
just be a very good football team again.
Right. I mean, I think that's my point without storylines. I think it's a good thing that this is just a football team, man. It's not. It, they talked about no, like they're called, or what was it? I don't remember who it was. Talk about guys not being above the team. Like this team is just a team of guys. It's just a group of guys trying to win another Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah, and they're treating it like a religion. They got that whole thing going on in uh, the meeting room and stuff, talking about mob. I love that. Um, the last thing I have another thing. Again, the other thing that a bunch of casuals will hate about this, and I totally get it, and I would hate it if I wasn't interested probably in this team. They spent like 2 minutes, probably more on spin rate. And
Agreed.
they had like 45 seconds of the ball in the air, which if they didn't have right round playing, I probably would have been out on. Like at least they had good
Right.
music going. But it was weird, but it was also just nerdy football stuff. And I think they went into it enough that it taught people it's like, hey, if you have a high spin rate, you have a person who keeps a tight spiral, like that's what wins when it's cold, cuts through the wind, does
Right.
all that. And if you go back, that was the big thing last year when Seattle did win the Super Bowl. Remember, Darnold had those hurt ribs and he just didn't have the torque. He couldn't
Hmm.
throw those tight spirals. And it felt like maybe that would be the difference between winning and losing, and it wasn't. But Darnold does, as much criticism as I still have for him as a football player, he throws a pretty ball.
He does.
Very good.
If you ever talk to my dad about this, he always brings it up about how like some football is such an awesome sport, right? But what's an interesting kind of little nuance about it is just the shape of the ball
Hmm.
and how like it can take weird bounces and can spin the right way and you can do kind of cool things with it. To get even a little bit nerdier, I know they talk about spin rate a lot in baseball and how that affects like how it curves, how it slides, how whatever it is. With the shape of the or shape of the football, the ball doesn't move, right? It goes on a straight path, it goes on a straight arc, straight line, however you want to do it. So to see the spin, that has to be like perfect dimensions on a football to spin rate where you can just get it perfectly exactly where you want it in an arc or on a line drive exactly where you want it.
Yeah, and I mean, you see some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and even when they deteriorated a little bit. But talking about, we saw Aaron Rodgers up close and personal for so long. He has a super high spin rate,
Hmm.
and Green Bay is very windy. Seattle is windy,
Hmm.
so cutting through that's crazy. But then you look at another great, obviously. I mean, no doubt. Remember Peyton Manning's last few years, and every
Yeah.
ball was just a duck.
Fluttering.
And it was windy in Denver, and he would throw it as hard as he fucking could, and it would
Hmm.
just catch the wind. It would move. It was just so slow coming down, and it just makes such a big difference. You see, I mean, we got Jordan Love now. He doesn't have a tight spiral. It is what it is. Sometimes he throws good balls. Sometimes he throws it straight up in the air, and the receiver has to adjust to it.
Right.
So, talking about right-handed quarterback versus left-handed quarterback spinning different directions, that's a big thing. But just how tight the spiral is, the spin rate in general, when you see these receivers go from quarterback to quarterback, it really is night and day difference with how you have to play football. It's really
Yeah.
different. And timing changes too. It's
Hmm.
so now I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I imagine Jalen Milroe has a very high spin rate. I imagine
Probably.
Drew Luck probably has a very high spin rate. Like I assume they're aligning these quarterbacks to do very similar things because next man up, you don't want the timing to be changed with everything. Like you're already taking a step down in terms of talent overall. If you can at least keep the timing the same with the spin rate and the arm power and all of that, that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
So,
Big time.
I mean, just a brief little look into how complex one position on the football field is. Last thing I have written
Did
down is go ahead before I get into
no.
Taran Arnold.
Yeah. I want to talk about him too. Just a real quick aside before that. You mentioned there that we got a kind of bit of glimpse into Leonard Williams' life with gardening. Do you garden at all? Do you have any garden? You grow anything? Do you like anything that you grow?
Yeah, yeah, I have like one of those above ground. I got a above
Hmm.
ground garden bed built and stuff. So I got a bunch of veggies and stuff like that, and an herb garden and stuff like that. So my grandma had like a massive, massive garden that we still keep up.
Hmm.
So I took some of the stuff from that. But yeah, I
Nice.
think it's just a nice thing to do in the morning. I feel like it's just
Yeah.
very
Get
quiet.
outside a little bit and
Yeah. I didn't think it was possible. I planted a nectarine tree. We're on year
oh,
2 of that, and we're growing nectarines. I didn't think that was possible here.
nice. Yeah. One thing I've always wanted in my life, and I still want in my life, is a lemon tree. Obviously, you can't grow
Yeah.
that here, but I think that would be incredible.
Yeah, it would I'm always envious of I watch, like, reality TV or something, someone in the backyard has a lemon tree there or
Hmm.
avocado tree. It's like, Jesus Christ, that'd be incredible.
Right.
Do you
My
guys garden at all?
Um, I no, I don't. I want to. I probably should. My parents have an awesome garden. So my mom's dad, so my grandpa, he used to grow garlic, right? So he gave my mom garlic or whatever. So my mom grows garlic every year, and it's awesome. It's fresh garlic. My dad brings it around to all the bars and everything. People love it. So they have garlic all over the place. They have onions, peas, everything. I don't know. I love fresh onions. I love garlic. I love it all out of gardens.
Nice. Yeah, I planted a we always plant zucchini just because it's easy to grow and we eat a lot of
Yeah.
it. But I planted a bunch of peppers this year, so I'm gonna make some hot sauce
Oh
again.
hell yeah.
So, yeah, I'm jacked up about that. I'm getting close for that. Um, but yeah, it's always just if you live maybe it's just like a small town thing, but if you can get people, friends who grow fresh stuff
Hmm.
and people who have chickens to
Yeah.
get fresh eggs and stuff, you're getting into eggs now, but people who have fresh eggs,
Yeah.
game over. Like,
Yep.
it's very odd the conversations I've just talked to, like, some people with who are in big cities and stuff who don't experience this at all. The bartering thing or, like,
Hmm.
just trading of goods is still very much alive in small town Wisconsin.
Yeah. Love it.
My dad has bees, so he has honey, so he trades
Hmm.
honey for shit all the time. Like, yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad brings garlic and mint to bars, and they give him a beer or whatever for
Yeah,
bringing in. Yeah, it's awesome.
it's incredible. Okay, so moving on to Tyrion Arnold. Obviously, so people who don't know, he was arrested and charged with I don't think he didn't technically do the kidnapping, but his friends did the kidnapping for money and jewelry and stuff that was stolen from Tyrion Arnold, I believe. So big trouble, and he was cut from the Detroit Lions. Very good cornerback. Now, Seattle brought him in for a workout. Obviously, we saw at the end of Hard Knocks. They're in such a good situation here because one, they could use a cornerback, but
Hmm.
two, they get a national spotlight, national TV show to showcase their process and explain themselves with the Taran Arnold thing. It's
Hmm.
not just, oh, this team brought in Taran Arnold for a workout and then bad press, bad press, bad press. Now they get to use their own media, and we've seen how professional organizations leak their own narratives and stuff like that out. Now they can just point to these clips that they talk about Taran Arnold, about doing the due diligence, about having former teammates speak up about him, about saying, hey, he just needs to get away from that friend, away from that area, which I think is probably true. Just get him in
Right.
a better situation. And we've seen it with like Green Bay. You know, you go to Green Bay, there's nothing fucking else to do. You go to Seattle, they are in the corner of the country away from everything else. So bring him out there and he'll be better. They get to explain themselves. They get to take away some of the negative press because of this. And then going back to the thing I said earlier, where this team is already a bunch of outcasts and they came
Hmm.
to Seattle and built a team. Taran Arnold
Right.
is going to fit this perfectly, and I imagine he signs with the Seahawks in the coming days after everyone got to watch this now.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it's and obviously you don't condone anything of what he does, right? But I
No.
understand it, right? You grow up with your boys, you hang out with them, it's the off season, you go back home and shit happens. You get into shit. You're the superstar, your boys aren't. So you're the one who's gonna take
Uh-huh.
the wrath of it. But the what I like, to your point of this kind of showcases because we hear about this all the time, right? Someone gets in trouble, teams bring them in for a workout, see what happens. Nobody really knows what happens behind the scenes. I hope they go a little bit more in depth into this,
Mhm.
but it kind of shows what goes on behind the scenes, right? And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But I mean, right? We saw Bill Belichick do this forever in New England, taking a troubled guy. If he helps us win a Super Bowl, great. We'll help him. Try to get him back on the path. If it doesn't, we'll cut him. So they kind of talked about John Schneider, working like in the shadows a little bit there and checking everything out. So it's a cool look at something that you hear about all the time but never get to actually see.
Yeah, it's such a cool look, and truly, like, teams have private investigators on staff.
Yeah, oh yeah.
like it's very complex. They no stone left unturned. They know everything. Um,
Hmm.
sometimes there's things that come out and it's like, oh, and the team say, oh, we didn't know that about them. They did. You know, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it's wins above everything. Um, similar to the one we always go back to on the Flurry Sports podcast was when Ray Rice got in trouble, the NFL
Hmm.
suspended him or whatever. And then the video came out. They're like, oh, we didn't see that. It's like,
Yeah.
fuck you, dude. Of
Right.
course you did, Goodell. Um, but yeah, all these teams, there will be, if Terry Arnold gets signed to the Seahawks, it doesn't mean he's fully innocent or anything like that. But they will be doing their due diligence on him. And to your point, we saw a little bit at the beginning of it. I hope they go into depth because that's super
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
would be
That's
great media for them.
right. Yeah. Like I said, that's a cool behind the scenes thing that you never get to see.
No. Yeah, not at all. And I don't think it would be giving away anything. Um, in terms of like a competitive edge with how they do their investigations or something like that. So I think it would be something they could show. Maybe not legally. Maybe the Hard
Right.
Knocks crew doesn't want to do it. I have no idea. But I hope we see something.
Right.
Um, but yeah, they have a very good chance to quickly repair a young kid's image.
Hmm.
And I mean, if they didn't have Hard Knocks, you never would have a chance to do this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Hope it works out for him. Hope everything goes good for him. Happy he's not
Yeah,
in Detroit anymore. I'll say that.
exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Detroit's fallen apart already.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, if Teddy Bridgewater leaves town, it's not good news.
The, Teddy, it feels like Teddy Bridgewater leaves every single team that he's on, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I imagine we'll see him again soon, just somewhere
Yeah.
else. But yeah, I don't know what's going on in the NFC North. Just with every team,
Yeah.
I don't even know how you begin to stack up who's good, who's bad, which order they're going to finish.
It kind of feels like they're all good or they're all bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And last season they had the easiest schedule and we had a
Hmm.
lot of pretty good teams. So now they have
Right.
some of the hardest schedules and we'll see how good they are.
That's like the NFC South the last couple of years, how they all been like absolutely horrible. There's a meme that it's like it shows all four teams. It's like we're the best team in this division. All four of them are like thinking in a thought bubble, and like kind of feels what the NFC North is, right? But I don't. I think they're better than the NFC South, but maybe they're not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're better than the NFC South. I think they're better coached than the NFC South, maybe, but I still, I've been covering sports for 10 years now. I still don't know what the Saints are. Um,
Yeah,
Buccaneers are the Buccaneers. I don't think they're great, but I think they have moments. Like,
that's the
I
thing.
don't know.
To relate it back to our draft kit, go check out our draft kit. We have all the offense coordinators, defensive coordinators in there. I guess I didn't realize that Todd Bowles was also the defensive coordinator for Tampa.
Yeah, they don't even count.
Yeah,
So it's like, bro, you're setting yourself up to get fired quickly here.
right.
Yeah, it's odd. Um, I don't know why he doesn't have one, but I think he's just saying like, hey, putting his dick on the table and just saying I'm gonna fix this team or I'm gone, which I
Is that some
respect.
kind of maybe some chest level thinking with job security here? It's like, hey, if you fire me, now you got to fill two positions instead of one.
Maybe. I mean, legitimately. Uh, if he gets fired midseason, that team's done
Yeah, I
because
think
the
the team's done
offensive
already.
coordinator. I think so too, but the offensive coordinator would have to be head coach.
Right.
Yeah, so then you're filling two coordinator jobs then.
So if he gets fired, right? If he gets fired, yeah, you have to fill three spots basically.
Yep. Maybe Baker just takes it
Hey,
offensive
maybe
coordinator.
we've seen weird shit happens. Maybe that's something they rally around and they go on a win the last 8 games of the year.
I wouldn't doubt it. I've seen Baker do crazy shit. So yeah, we'll see. Anything else about this Hard Knocks about the Seahawks other than we continue to be impressed and
Yeah,
liking this team a lot?
yeah. I mean, every time you get to see Marshawn Lynch, I think it's a joy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I understand why Madden ratings are so probably not correct to human form because these guys just go. I don't do like I know Chad Johnson's one, Kurt Benkert's a Madden rating, Marshawn Lynch. Do you think that even like they even do anything for the ratings?
I don't think those guys do. They had the other people there who do it,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
just the PR people.
yeah. Okay, because I was gonna say like he's probably I'm sure he's gonna root for Michael Dixon. Michael Dixon's an incredible punter, but
Yeah,
I can see Madden making him a 90 punter just because Marshawn Lynch saw him drop a ball into a net.
at least punter is less of a big deal, but I hope
Right,
they do it just as a goof or something. It would be good.
right,
But yeah, I mean, Marshawn is no one dislikes Marshawn. He's just incredible. He comes in, dabs up everybody. He, uh, I mean, making fun of the white DB immediately,
right.
which Grant very,
Yeah, fair.
yeah, very fair.
Welcome
Absolutely
to football.
needs to be done. But yeah, earning his respect immediately is very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Again, to your point, it's a fun team. Like you get to see Marshawn, it's a joy, right? There's a lot of things going on. They got a little Warren Moon cameo, which is kind of funny. I'm gonna be
Unexpected,
honest,
yeah.
seems younger than probably what he is. He could probably go out and still throw a couple balls. But I don't know. I mean, is there anything that you're looking forward to? Right, we're getting preseason. Do we know who they play preseason week one?
Let's see. I actually don't know, but we need to see real football, right? We continue to see um just practice stuff. We continue to see, hey, ease up on the quarterback, ease up on all this stuff. So we need to see actual football. We need to see how these guys actually respond. First preseason week they play the Cowboys,
Oh, okay.
so that'll be good. We
Oh,
got Cowboys, we got Titans, we got Chiefs.
Joe Milton.
True, Joe Milton, and I mean I assume Cowboys are practicing with the Rams this week right now for joint practices. So I'm not sure if we're going to get joint practices
Oh,
between the two of them. If we do, then we're going to get some George Pickens, which is good.
yeah, hell yeah,
I saw George Pickens just cook Rams DBs
yeah,
today, just and act like such a prick in the
yeah.
best way
The best.
possible. I love it.
Yep.
How old do you think Warren Moon is? We'll go out on that because he did look
Well,
young.
well, what he played 80s, 90s. So
Yep,
50, I would say late 50s, early 60s, maybe.
69.
Wow. I
He
guess
looks good.
he started in the NFL when he was old, so that makes sense.
He was offensive player of the year in 1990. So
Oh, okay.
that was his peak. But yeah, played another decade after that or so. But yeah, good to see Warren Moon, obviously. I hope we get to see more. One thing I'm looking forward to, I want to see more old Seahawks players come back.
But is there anyone in particular, right? I'm thinking about this. I know things kind of ended a little sour with Richard Sherman in Seattle. Same thing with Earl Thomas, but I don't know. Is Cam Chancellor like enough of a personality to show up and be there? I I mean, how are we gonna talk about Seattle and put them on national TV without Russell Wilson making an appearance? That kind of feels inevitable, right?
It does. It does. Wilson will be he might need to wait another year before he goes back to Seattle or so, but I think that would be interesting. I think Sherm is on good terms with McDonald and stuff, so
Okay.
I think he could do that. I wouldn't mind seeing. I mean, if we want to go way back and go like a Hutchinson, I would like to see him.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know.
My my
Some of the
favorite my
receivers, I think we could see maybe a Golden
yeah
Tate. Why not?
Yeah, my favorite player growing up was Sean Alexander, so I'd love to see him if he comes around. I don't know. I mean, again, not that great of a personality, right? Seattle's just been a team where it's like, I mean, I guess other than Legion Boom, it's just been like guys. It's hardworking guys who go out and want to
I
win.
know. Just bland. I mean, one of their biggest players of all time is Steve Largent. It's like,
Right?
that's kind of sets the tone of just a milk toast type of
Do you think?
organization.
Do you think that we're missing out? And I know it's like we're a couple of years removed from him, but like Pete Carroll would have been incredible on Hard Knocks.
He would have been. I wouldn't. I mean, he's not doing anything. He can't go back. I guess I
No.
was gonna say I wouldn't mind seeing him like come back, but he can't.
Mm-mm.
Man, is Pete doing anything? I hope he's doing
It
something
feels
this
like
year.
he was made. He was made for Hard Knocks, right?
Yes, and he would have sold it. He would have done
Yeah.
crazy shit on Hard Knocks because he's just like the stuff he used to do as a college recruiter at USC and stuff is crazy.
Dude, to be a fly on the wall at USC recruiting.
No shit. Um, yeah, he's not doing anything this year, so hmm, we'll
That's
see.
gotta be one of the most and I talk about it all the time, like I love college sports for like all the corruption and all the slimy, slimy coaches and all that. College recruiting is like the Wild West, man.
I know, and I
I
do
guess it's
hate
kind of
that.
different with NIL now, but
So
like before
different.
NIL, that had to be just the greasiest shit going on of all time.
That's the biggest downside of NIL. I think it just gets rid
Right.
of it. Everything's out in the open now,
Right.
and is it better? Probably, but the stories that came out of it, the Patino
Hmm.
shit, all the
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. It's incredible. I miss it. And there's more stories that will come out once these guys die.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's gonna be some good shit. But yeah, I got nothing else. Do you?
Nothing. That was good. Another good episode. To your point, this is probably not a casual football watcher season. It's a hardo season where you're really getting the nuts and bolts of what actually goes on, which is awesome.
100%, 100%. So we'll be back again next Tuesday night, immediately following Hard Knocks. So definitely come join us. Leave a like, comment some of your favorite moments, some stuff that we may have missed. A lot of Seahawks fans coming in and letting us know stuff last time, which I really appreciate. And I'll jump in the comments, respond to you guys again as well. But if you want some draft kit stuff, if you're into fantasy football, if you want to win at fantasy football, again, draft.flurrysports.org. Lots of good stuff and more stuff that's going to be added. So the draft kit as it is right now, I think is among the best draft kits on the market, right? It's going to get better and better. I got
Yeah.
more stuff that I'm adding tonight. I have stuff I'm adding tomorrow. I have stuff I'm adding the day after that. And then guess what? We got some tools for this upcoming season as well. So if you like to win, that's what we do here. We're just winners and we're going to help you win. So definitely subscribe, hang out with us, and we'll be back tomorrow night for a fantasy football show. And we'll show off some of the draft kit. We'll show
Hell
off
yeah.
some other fantasy football stuff. So tune in around 7 p.m. Central. See you then. Goodbye.
Peace.